Hey guys, there's a massive update to the FICO credit scoring system that's going to be released this summer for banks and lenders. Stay tuned to see if you're affected. I'm going to be going over some of the new aspects of the new system and how you can boost your credit score with this new system and how to avoid being actually hit, because there's going to be a lot of people affected by this. Upwards of 110 million people are going to be affected by this change. So stay tuned, and at the end of the video I'll show you guys how you can boost your credit score with this new scoring method especially, and then you can actually take advantage of these changes and you won't have to worry about them at all. If you do have bad credit and you are trying to rebuild that credit, I'll give you some tips and things that will give you a better idea of what you need to do to build that credit and get better and improve your credit score so that you're not constantly fighting. So stay tuned and let's get going. All right, so like I was saying, there's a new credit scoring method that's coming out. One of the biggest changes of this is that banks are going to start taking into account consumer debt. So if you're overextended, you have a lot of debt, and you're barely keeping up with your minimum payments on your credit cards, this new change will actually drop your credit score significantly, or could drop your credit score significantly. Like I said before, about 110 million people are going to be affected by this and will have a credit score hit of 20 points or less, with an additional 80 million people that could have actually a credit hit or improvement by 20 points or more. And so this is a massive change, and this is going to affect a whole lot of people. Like I said before, at the end of the video, I'm going to explain what you can do to protect yourself, to improve your score, to make sure that this doesn't affect you in a negative way, and that you can take advantage of these new scoring methods and it'll actually boost your credit score rather than hurt you. So keep watching till the end. I'm going to give you a few steps you can do so that this doesn't affect you negatively. FICO Vice President said in a statement, "Those consumers with recent delinquency or high utilization are likely to see a downward shift, and depending on the severity and recency of the delinquency, it could be significant." So what does that mean? If you had a recent delinquency, meaning if you missed a payment within the last 24 months, this is going to more negatively affect your score than ever before. The other thing is, if you have a high debt utilization, meaning you use pretty much all the debt that has been extended to you, your score is going to take a hit. Those two things are the biggest changes. If you're missing payments, especially within the last 24 months, this is going to take a major blow to your credit score. If you're overextended, or if you are basically maxed out on your cards, if you have a high debt to income ratio, then this new system is bad news. It's going to really hurt your credit score. Some people are predicting that this is going to create an even wider gap from those, with those people that have great credit scores and those that have terrible credit scores. That gap's going to become even wider. Building a credit score is something that I think maybe some people don't understand what it takes. There's some simple things you can do. With this new scoring system, it's going to especially penalize those that aren't making their payments on time or are just paying their minimum balance on their credit cards. Banks and lenders don't like to give out credit to people that are overextended or that have a lot of debt based on how much income they're making. If they're overextended and they have a problem like a medical bill or something else come up, then probability of default is really high. That's why I think they've made these changes, so that the banks and lenders can more effectively determine who is safe and who is somebody they want to lend to. And the biggest thing is, if you're not safe to lend to, a lot of banks will still lend to you, but you're going to pay a lot higher interest rate. That's why this is so key. That's why it's so important to have a high credit score. So tip number one, the number one thing with your credit and building your credit score is always make your payments on time. This is the single biggest factor in building your credit score. If you're not making your payments on time, you're never going to have a good credit score. It's just going to always be terrible. The number two thing that I have is keep your debt to income ratio low, meaning don't overextend yourself. If you're making $50,000 a year, don't have $15,000 in credit card debt. In fact, you shouldn't ever have credit card debt. If you have credit cards, you need to pay the balance every single month. If you're not paying a balance every single month, you shouldn't have a credit card. Pay them off Pay them off every month. Otherwise, don't ever get a credit card. Another one of the things that's never miss a payment. Always pay your payments on time, but also never miss a payment. If you miss a payment, that's going to take a significant hit to your credit score. It's going to take a long time to get that back off of your score. It sounds like with this new system especially, that delinquency is going to take a bigger hit to your credit score than ever before. One of the other biggest things is don't close your oldest accounts. If you have a credit card that you got when you were back in high school or college or years ago, like your first credit card, and you still have that open, you keep that open, because if you close your oldest account, that can drop your average age of credit score, and it can knock you down. I actually had this happen. I had an old card that I didn't use very often, but it was my oldest card, and the bank decided to close it because I hadn't used it, and that actually knocked down my credit score about 10 points. If I had been trying to rebuild my credit instead of having excellent credit, that would have been a major hit. And so luckily for me, it didn't affect me too much. All right, guys, well, that's it. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below if you have any questions. If you want to know anything else, I'll do my best to answer your comments and answer any questions you may have in the comments section. If you thought this video was helpful, please like and subscribe. Good luck building those credit scores. I think these new changes are probably smart for the banks and lenders. Some people are going to take a hit, and that's too bad. But if you follow those steps I just gave you, you can rebuild your credit score, you can get back up there, and you'll be on your way to a great credit score and a better financial future. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. We'll see you again soon.